I'd never heard of Injora until I started looking for wheels and stuff for the Wraith Spawn. I got some stuff for the Red Cat also, and they're really nice wheels. I can't remember how much I paid for these right off the bat, but it does take forever to screw in all these screws. I would suggest not using a drill to put those in because it would be easy to strip the heads out. Now, I took them out with a drill, but I put them all back in by hand. And this also bolts to a metal hub, and I put a 12mm hex, a brass hex kit on this, and it's 12mm wider. So 12 and 12 to 24mm is almost an inch wider now, should be. So, and I do really like the stock tires. Great stock tires. Bunch of stuff I'd like to get for this. I did change the location for the front shock, so it's a little further forward than it was before. I moved it one mounting hole forward. And I did buy a 3S battery. I didn't have any 3S batteries with a Dean's connector. The only 3Ss I have are for the Super Baja Ray. So I went ahead and got one of those. And I've been driving it with no body on it because I just don't want to scratch up the body. And otherwise, hopefully everything holds together. We'll see if there's another weak point now that we have wheels that won't break, and those hubs should help a lot, being it's not just a pin in there, now it's actually a hex. So going from this to this. Now the 3S and the stock brush motor, I do have a radar gun, so let's go see, because this isn't that fast. So it should be pretty easy to take a top speed. With the 3S battery, we did clock 23 miles an hour with a 3S battery and stock gearing in the driveway. So way more fun on 3S. It's a quick rundown of the parts I put on the overall build. The first video was just wheels and wheel spacers. These are those wheels. This is an unboxing of the Injora wheels. They do have a bead lock on the inside and the outside, and as you can see, there's a center ring, and it comes with the hub also, and it's metal hub. These are very nice finish. I got these on Amazon, and this is the stock wheel and tire. Great tires, and this is the plastic hub that broke. Pretty obvious, and all it is a pin and a slot. And I was on 3S when I broke that, so may not have happened on 2S. These are the wheel spacers. First thing that broke was the servo arm. The spline stripped right off of it, so I went ahead and just got a new servo. I've got a ton of these. They last forever. I think I've got at least 4 cars have them. These are Vanquish Incision control arms or links. You do have to put the ends on them. They come with their own balls and plastic links to put on the end. They're solid stainless steel. You definitely get what you pay for here. I wish there was a bushing instead of a ball on the link that connects the two wheels because it kind of flops around. Other than that, they're very solid, very heavy duty. This is probably the major hop up I put on this thing. I wanted this to be a dual machine, being it's a rock racer. So I went ahead and opted for the Copperhead 10, and it is supposed to be set up for, it's supposed to be a crawler edition. So I was like, well, I'll try that out, and I got the higher kV of the motors. I haven't ran it on 3S yet, but it does run pretty good. And it's really cool that you can do so much with the software too. I went ahead and updated the firmware and changed the settings to my needs or liking. And while I was at it, I went ahead and updated the firmware on my old short course truck, brushless speed control and motor on my Slash, and I didn't realize there were so many updates. There's a ton of updates for, you wouldn't think there'd be so many updates for just a regular motor that goes backwards and forwards, but there's a lot of cool settings you could do with it. So this is the motor. And I did get this obviously as a pair. You do have to solder your own lead on the speed control. And it's a good looking motor. This is also a censored brushless setup. So I've never had a censored brushless setup, and I really wanted to see what that was like with a crawler, because my buddy has one and he says it's just awesome. So it does have a sensor on it. You can go really slow with this, but it also winds really high. So there is a lot of power with the regular old brushed one. There's nothing wrong with it. I just wanted to try this out. This is the castle link you need to plug into the speed control so you can change the firmware settings. And it's basically, see, like right there, I'm like, where is it at? Oh, it's right there in the cardboard in the front is the link, and it's just a little chip that converts it from a 3-wire to a USB. And this is a worn winch. I actually got this for the Red Cat, but when I got the bumper for the front of the Wraith Spawn, it looked kind of dumb with just a big flat plate, so I went ahead and put it on there. I'd like to get a generic version of this and see how much it compares. And of course I 3D printed some parts. Everything that is copper on this I printed. Obviously it fits well with the Copperhead speed control, and that's what I was going for. Here's my new bumper. I didn't have a package. I didn't record anything when I unpackaged that, but I got that bumper on Amazon. I did put thicker oil in the shocks because I figured it'd spin a little faster than it does, but still stock gearing. I did the axle cover. I haven't put one on the front yet, but the inner fenders, I printed all that, and the front and rear inner fenders. I also printed some white ones in case I ever wanted to change it, but I thought this was a good place for the speed control. It's got its fan up there. It's kind of out of the way of everything. It is kind of tight to the battery plugged in, but I didn't want to take the interior route, and I considered getting a 2-speed transmission also, but I think it'd be so tight in there that I read some people took their interior route because the servo for the 2-speed took up too much space. So, and I'd like to print a cover for the battery back here too, but it does handle really good. The shocks suck. The axial shocks, they've been leaking since it was brand new. I put thicker oil in there because I figured it'll leak out anyway. This is it all done and finished. Just playing around in the backyard. I am redoing the track right now. It is totally different, so stay tuned for that. I have a bunch of footage of that going up. It needs to be smoothed out still, but I will have a dedicated crawler section now. I did this one video and stripped out the center gear and the transmission, so I've got hardened steel gears for that. It is sitting on the table right now, and otherwise it runs really good. Also, I weighed this, and it weighs about 8 to 8.5 pounds depending on the battery. Gained a lot of weight. The links themselves weigh a ton because they're solid stainless, and the wheels and the wheel spacers are probably the biggest difference. They weigh a lot. A lot of people put the battery in the front, which is no big deal. I just didn't want to have to make a whole new platform to put the speed control on, and you still have to run the battery wire just as far a distance unless you take the interior out, and I did not want to do that. So I also got a Radio Link radio, and I'm going to do another video on that. I didn't want to stretch this one out. All the stuff I did to this, I still want to do a winch video as well. And it's supposed to lift 6 pounds, I think, deadlift. So if you added a snatch block pulley, maybe it'll pull 12. That'd be kind of fun to see. So, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hobbies and Hot Rods.